Oh. No, I don't want anything. Can you go?
Oh, dude. Oh, oh, my life. My God, Penguin, you saved my life. Watch this, ready? Poke him! Oh! Alrighty, what's going on everybody? Combo here. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day. Just wanted to take a moment, kind of the entire point of this video if you couldn't tell, and just give a big thank you and kind of look retrospectively at 2025, where we come from, how much we've grown, and just really, and I mean this when I say it, how we have built the most wholesome and supportive community in the entirety of the finals. I really do believe that. So I wanted to take a second here and firstly say thank you, because I think you should start just about every conversation like that with people you care about. And I also wanted to do a moment here, or take a moment here, do a moment here, nice one combo, and do a Q&A, because I had some people who suggested this, and we actually got about 50 responses, so admittedly I did take a few of the more, commonly asked questions, and I'm going to kind of put those in the beginning, and then we'll get more into the specific ones, but I guess, dude, without any further ado, let's get right into it. So one of the most common ones, and I can't blame you, was why did you get started on YouTube? And for me, the primary reason is when I was a young kid, right? And I hate saying this because it means a bunch of different things to a bunch of different people. Didn't grow up with the most money, didn't have internet or anything until I was like well into my teenage years. And I would sit in front of my super small fucking box TV as a kid, playing Ratchet & Clank or Star Wars Battlefront 2, and I would sit there and I would pretend to commentate like I was, just basically what I do on stream, like I was, making a YouTube video. Not having internet, going to the library, or I would go to my dad's on the weekends, and having the ability to like have computers and internet there was just insane. So I'd sit there and I'd binge like YouTube videos, and like, I grew up in that era where like, being a YouTuber wasn't really a thing, but it was kind of starting to get a little popular once I was starting to get into my high school years. So it's just something I always wanted to do, and I've always been one for like sharing. I never want to withhold information, so if I find something that I deem useful, I always like to share it. So that's kind of been the big reason for me. The other one here is, what is the biggest challenge that you've faced doing YouTube so far? I would say time. Like, truthfully, I'm gonna be honest, like making videos, doing this and that, at least what I do, isn't the most difficult thing in the world. But on top of doing YouTube, if you count YouTube as a part-time job, which, I mean, I had to get an editor, Mr. Luke on Steam, I worked 3 jobs. So college, a job on my college campus, the military, and YouTube all at the same time. And yeah, that can kind of weigh on your psyche at times, not to mention all the medical issues and shit I've been having on the side. But it's like, I love doing it, and I think streaming is definitely a lot more relaxed and a lot easier to connect with you guys. But I still love sitting down and making the long form kind of content. But so far, I would say those have been like the biggest ones for sure. So those were the 2 kind of more common ones that I got. So now I've got some very interesting ones that are directly from the forum that I posted. And the first one, do you hate me? And because I turned off emails, I can't see who said this. So to whoever said that, no, I don't hate you. Why would I hate you? Next one, this one's a bit longer, but As a streamer slash YouTuber, what changed or didn't change with your view on gaming? Example, I play games not often, maybe once a week for like 2 hours. It's my getaway from everything. I feel like if I became a streamer, I would lose that and games would feel more like a job. I'm not going to become a streamer, but I'd like to hear your thoughts on becoming one and what changed your mindset on gaming. Truthfully, I'm flattered that you would even consider me a streamer with how terrible my schedule is. I would say for me, having the ability to step away from, this being a quote job is very important for me. So basically, as soon as I leave my desk, it's over, right? And then I go out and do things that are, a bit more refreshing. It's kind of a meme. They tell people to go outside and touch grass, but that does make a big difference for me. I like to do things, outside when I can. And that's kind of the other thing behind it too. I would never do YouTube as a full-time job, because this to me is a passion project. Of course, I do make some money from it, which is very nice. Most hobbies kind of suck money from you. They don't really give it back most of the time. But making this a full-time job to me, kind of like you said, I think would just sap the fun out of it, unless it was just something that I absolutely loved. And as much as I love the finals, seeing as it's a live service game and it's ever evolving, who says I'm going to enjoy the game in a year from now? You know what I mean? So having this as a hobby, having this as something I can step in and out of, make things a lot easier for me. So hopefully that kind of answers that question. The next one, tell Embark to buff sword. Embark, I guess buff sword. Definitely wasn't Yellow Jacket who said that. What brought you to the finals and got you hooked into the game? So the first thing that got me, and I was telling Epiphany this when we did our little collab video. So I, at the time the finals came out, had been throwing knives for about a year and a half, and I was starting to get pretty decent at it. And I found out the finals had throwing knives, not as just like an equipment, like in Call of Duty, but like an actual weapon. So immediately I was like, okay, I gotta try this game. Went in, tried it, and then I saw the weapon variety and the movement, and I was just, from then on, I was hooked, 100%. Next one is, how many thumbs do you have? I think 2, only 2? Is that the right answer? I don't know, this one's stressing me out. Next one, what's one new specialization you would like to see in the game? What's one old specialization you would like to see removed or reworked? So one spec I've been wanting to see for a very long time is a jetpack. And I think a jetpack on the medium or heavy would be so nice. Probably medium, if we're being honest here, just because medium doesn't really have, any kind of movement, and heavy does through Charge and Slam, which is kind of funny. And maybe even Goo Gun, if you want to argue that. And a specialization I would like to see reworked, I think would be turret. Not reworked in the sense that it completely changes, just maybe give it something else that it could do. Like one I've always thought of, something really small, is when you have the iPad, give me the option to detonate it like a C4. You know what I mean? Make it do a little bit of damage, let it break terrain, just giving medium, more variability when using turret, because it's nice how it is currently. I've heard some people say that maybe the turret should shoot tracking darts, and you can see people briefly highlighted through walls, and that would kind of bring back recon sense in a way too. But those would be my 2 big ones for sure. Next one is, what is your comfort food when you're feeling both happy and sad, not at the same time? And what do you like to do when you're not playing games? Love the illustration. There was a little illustration on the Google form there. My comfort food, probably, that's a tough one, man. I would say probably surf and turf. So steak and lobster, man. It's just something about it puts a smile on my face. Or just a really good soup. Not anything specific, just a really, really good soup. Maybe a, yeah, dude, not even anything. Just soup in general just makes me happy. I don't know, man. And what do I like to do when I'm not playing games? Well, on the side, I like to exercise. That's a big one for me. I like to throw knives, dude, so many mountain climbing. Obviously with knee surgery, that's been a little bit more difficult lately, but that's another one. And then recently, I just started picking up piano, so that's what's going on there. Next one is, what is your favorite melee weapon? Only correct answer is dual blades. Favorite melee weapon? Yeah, probably dual blades, admittedly. Yeah, probably dual blades. I don't know how to say this, but the sniper in this game feels off on a few, irrespective of range. I was a COD player before Modern Warfare 2019, and the snipers felt very snappy at those quick, close range while having a marksman vibe at long. In this game, however, it feels the opposite, and although the sniper is very snappy, it feels like a marksman at close and a sniper at long. This makes me super confused and leads me to ponder on the probable reason being the height difference of light and hitbox up close at long on the scope. Love snipers in this game, and this is the main reason I get nervous when picking it up in ranked. So please, how can any player like me counter this and open up on maps? Is the cloak better than grapple? Thank you. That was a long one. I kind of got to the question near the end. I appreciate the bit of context there. I would say personally, if you're gonna use sniper and rank, dude, dash. Honestly, that's gonna, because if you miss your shot on grapple, you get one chance to run away, and then you're kind of just done. If you miss your shot on cloak, you're just sitting there, and then you're dead. If you have dash, you can peek in and out, do some poke damage, and you know, that should that'll help you out in ranked, I think, a lot. We got one that just says, have a skelly time. Well, damn it, I guess I gotta do that now. Thank you, Master Mike. Alright, we have the last one here. Is there anything you struggle to accept about yourself? Man, that is it's a deep one, man. I gotta dig down. I think my biggest one is not having the ability or lack of awareness of what is not known to myself. And if that sounds super like word soup and doesn't really make sense, there's a principle. It's a psychological model called the Johari window. Basically illustrates what's known to yourself, what others see in you, and in the top right corner, I can't see it in front of me, but I'm kind of just remembering it, there's this blind spot where others can see the flaws in yourself, but you can't see them unless others bring it to your attention. And for me, that's why I choose my friends very carefully, because I want people who are going to be open and transparent, and if they see something that's concerning, I want them to tell me. And I think what you see a lot nowadays, especially in the age of social media, people are afraid to hurt people's feelings, is you have these people, including myself at times, you know, I used to be really, really bad anger. You have these character flaws and people just don't tell you. And then it hits this boiling point and people kind of just come up to you and say, I don't fuck with you anymore. And it's like this big explosion. Whereas if people would just work collaboratively to find these blind spots in each other and make each other better, I think it would make a big difference. Oh, actually, there's one more question here at the bottom. Would you ever do a face reveal? Nah.
Alright, let's see what Combo's up to. Well, hey there, Combo.
What's going on, Sexy?
Oh, not too bad. What are you up to?
Just doing a little editing, a little
skeleton radio, doing some little editing. Awesome. Wait. Combo's not a skeleton. What the hell?